All right, welcome to the Lakeville Holiday Tournament. We've got your favorite JV team in action, Shakopee taking on the Lakeville South Cougars. Starting five for the Sabres, Anderson, John Shoy, Telejohn, Smith, and Schuler. Puck easily stick to side. Like Addie Malone is getting the start and goal. Cross ice pass from Telejohn, not going to go down for icing. Anderson giving chase, but Lakeville first to the puck. Nope. Skater loses an edge there. Turnover in the neutral zone, but Shakopee can't hold on to it. Smith dumps it in. Shaco's going for a change. Not a great time for a change, but no harm, no foul. Addie Collins, Tocek, and McNee on the ice now, along with Smith and Cam Carlson. Cam changes directions. Tocek up to McNee. She's got a little bit of space. Late changing defender coming off the bench. Rebound came off the stick of the Lakeville South goalie. Had a little opportunity for a rebound there, but couldn't get a shot off. No ice there. Got waved off. Jetta Barrick on the ice, along with Cam Krisak now. Addie Collins with the puck. Sabres have a couple of players either back or on the ice today that haven't been with the team for a while. So Jetta Barrick, Addie Collins, and Ellie Esslinger back from injury for the first time in a while, which is great to see. She is not on the ice yet, but we'll let you know when she gets out there. Icing gets waved there as the puck hit off Krisak's stick. There's Esslinger. Back to retrieve it. Skates that out, but loses the puck. Lakeville shot gets deflected by Luth. Luth, Esslinger, and Huberty on the ice at the moment. Lakeville dumps it deep. It's going to come out. Cam Carlson on the ice along with Krisak. Puck kind of kicked around at the edge of the blue line there, but Esslinger manages to skate it out. She's got a good head of steam. Tries to drop pass to Huberty, but Huberty can't get it. Carlson wraps it around the boards. It's going to go all the way on the far side. Esslinger won the puck and slowed it up against the boards. Chloe Krisak with a nice wrister. Quick shot. Goalie got the body on it and managed to cover. First stoppage of the game, 12:31 left in the first. PA guy announced that this is part of the tournament, but also counts in the South Suburban standings. So got John Shoy, Telejohn, and Anderson back on the ice. Aggressive face-off win by Lakeville South. Good forecheck. Holds the puck and it pops out. Telejohn gets it on her stick. Wrister ends up going high. Not sure if that got deflected or not, but surprised she was able to lift it that much. Lakeville with a quick breakout. Carlson able to get enough of the puck to slow it down. Centering pass ends up on a Lakeville stick. She couldn't get a lot on it, and Malone was able to stop it and cover. We'll get two new defensive skaters, Schuler and Smith, back on the ice. John Shoy taking the drop. Lakeville wins. Pass goes out to the defender. Anderson was playing the pass, but went the other way. She clears. Loses the race to the puck. Lakeville skated around the back of their net. Go for the breakout up the middle, but that is easily cut out by Smith. She'll carry it into the zone. Splits the defenders. Got a shot off. That was riding the edge of the boards there all the way around. Wrister gets deflected wide from Schuler. Lakeville able to go out and up. That'll be an icing. Collins, McNee, and Tocek on the ice, along with Schuler and Smith. Not a ton of shots on goal early for either team. 11:22 left in the first. Collins on the faceoff. Puck went right behind Tocek, came out. Schuler backhanded it back in, but McNee had to touch up, and Lakeville was able to skate it out. They'll dump it around the net. It's going to go far side boards. Lakeville's going to win the puck to it. Schuler over there with Collins. 2-on-1. Collins goes wrap around to toe check. She'll change directions to hold on to the puck. Two Cougars shut her down, though. Puck ends up headed towards the net. Collins cuts it out. She can't clear. Puck was a little bit too far for McNee. Wrister hits Schuler's shin hard. Comes out to the neutral zone. Lakeville will have to regroup, but got a little bit of space to carry it into the zone. Schuler shuts that down, and Huberty comes out of there with the puck. Nice stick handling to get out, but then she lost it going through the neutral zone. Good pressure. Esslinger with the puck. She backhands it behind the net. Luth gets tied up with the Lakeville defender. They try to cut it out through the middle. Sabres got a stick on it. Lakeville lost an edge. They'll go for a 4-skater change. Krisak ties up the Lakeville forward. Didn't look great, but no penalty from the ref. Bouncing slap shot from the blue line. Those ones are sometimes problematic, but it went wide. Lakeville holding the puck in the zone. Good close out there by Luth. Prevent a shot. Esslinger showing good speed. She splits the D. Manages to run down her own puck. Good shield. Nice drop pass to Jetta Barrick. Her wrister gets all the way through. Bounces off. Took a carom back out, and John Choi ended up getting a shot out of it, but couldn't find the net. Ooh. Long clearance from Lakeville went under the stick of Malone. She got a pad on it. Lakeville dumps it back in. Jetta Barrett's going to go back to retrieve. She's got pressure from one Lakeville. She goes up to Telejohn. She gets out. Gets pulled down in the neutral zone. No call there. Puck ends up on a Krisak stick. She goes for Anderson, but too far. Lakeville, good pressure. Carlson won the race to the puck, but got held up. Lakeville doing a nice job holding the puck in the zone. Anderson finally gets it out. She's giving chase. Can't prevent the dump in. It's going to go down for an icing, though. We'll get a couple new skaters for the Sabres. Collins, Tochek, and McNee now, along with Krisak and Carlson. Come back down into the offensive zone. 8:29 left in the first. Collins with the face-off, but Cougars win that one. Go off the boards behind the net. Held in nicely by Chloe Krisak. She popped it back behind the net. McNee giving chase. Lakeville first to the puck, but good forecheck there. Nice backhanded pass from Addie Collins back to Chloe Krisak. Puck just hopped over her stick. Sabres go back to retrieve and quickly back in. McNee with the backhanded centering pass gets cut out by a Cougar skater. Cougars are going for a change. So from their forwards, he's going 1-on-5. She loses the 1-on-5 battle. Sabres able to clear, but only momentarily. McNee going for a change. Offsides there. It's kind of an awkward time change. No harm, no foul, though. Lakeville skater was caught in the zone, so faceoff will come out to the neutral zone. Esslinger, Huberty, and Luth on the ice now, along with Schuler and Smith. Faceoff win goes to Lakeville. They're doing a very good job of those today. Dump the puck in. Schuler's going to win the race to it. She goes up the boards. Luth can't get there, but manages to deflect the puck out, and Huberty and Esslinger have got a 2-on-1. Huberty with the shot. Oh, puck whistle's blown. The puck was all the way in the corner. Lakeville goalie couldn't cover it. Kind of kicked out into the corner, but the ref didn't see it, called it dead. So Sabres will get a face-off. Huberty. Puck bounces to Huberty. She couldn't get a shot off. Back to Smith. Over to Schuler. Her wrister got deflected by a Lakeville defender. They try to go up the boards and out, but held in nicely by Schuler. Puts it back behind the net. Cougar skater gets there, but Esslinger and Smith managed to put a stop to that exit, get the puck back down behind the net. John Troy and Telejohn on the ice. Anderson now joins him. Exit pass ends up on a Krisak stick. Smith up to Anderson. Anderson to Telejohn. Puck ends up getting kicked around there. Anderson got a wrister off, but went well wide. Telejohn holds up that exit twice. Doing a good job preventing the exit. Now Anderson causing some problems. Good physicality there. Wins the race to the puck, but eventually loses it. Now Lakeville's got an exit. Got off the boards around Barrick. Backhand goes well wide. Nice stick work by Krisak. Clearance pass from John Troy to Anderson just went under her stick. Sabres will change. Eddie Collins gets a skate on that pass, prevent the puck from going anywhere. She does it again. Some nice footwork there. Might want to go out for the soccer team. Puck eventually in to Krisak. Needed a left-handed stick there. Couldn't wrap herself around to get the right hand on it. Puck is now pinned against the boards. You got McNee, Krisak, a couple of Cougar skaters. Pass gets cut out nicely. Tochek and McNee are in. Tochek's wrister goes high. They had a nice 2-on-0 there. Puck out to Krisak. Her slap shot bounced right in front of the goalie. Tochek runs down the rebound. Carlson, nice reposition. Her wrist shot ends up bouncing off a stick and up into the goalie's chest, and she manages to cover. It was a great opportunity for the Sabres, but they can't convert. 4:57 left in the first. Sabres out shooting the Cougars 7-2 according to the scoreboard. Doesn't feel quite that lopsided, but take it. Puberty, Esslinger, and Luth on the ice. Esslinger popped the puck kind of across the middle of the ice there. Luth couldn't get a stick on it, but ended up in the far side corner, and Luth and Puberty tying up the Lakeville skater. They eventually come out of there with it. Exit pass bounces off a Cougar skate, and they're unable to get it out. Esslinger holds it in momentarily, finally out to center. Carlson will skate it back in. She cuts to the middle. 3 Sabre skaters were held up at the blue line. Carlson gets rubbed out into the boards there. Lakeville up and out. Puberty stopped the progress of one Cougar skater, and the puck bounced right to one of the trailers. She manages to wrap around. She's got help coming. She's just going to keep skating all the way. Made a full 360-degree circle and managed to get a wrister off from the near side face-off circle, but Malone was in good position. Gloved it. Get a change for the Sabres. Telejohn, John Troy, and Anderson. Puck comes onto Anderson's stick. Quickly up to Telejohn, and she's got a step. She tried to go 5-hole. That was a nice breakout. Puck back on Telejohn's stick. She gets it to Anderson. Her wrister gets gloved. Good pressure by the Sabres, but unable to get one in the net so far. Hopefully we'll get the breakthrough here pretty quickly. 3:40 left. Face off in the offensive zone, far side circle. John Troy takes it. Telejohn dropped back a little bit. It was good positioning. The puck ended up coming right to her. Wrister from Schuler ended up going well wide. Puck ends up on the far side, but Schuler wins the race. Good physicality by her. She dumps the puck down the ice. They're going to wave icing, and we'll get a 5-skater change for the Sabres. So unimpeded exit for Lakeville. They try to go up the middle of the ice, and the pass goes through all the Cougar skaters, ends up on a Jedabaric stick. Nice looking breakout by the Sabres. Addie Collins skating through center ice. She's going to carry it into the zone. gets ridden off the puck, and Lakeville manages to get back out. Backhanded pass goes through the legs of a Cougar skater. Krisak ends up with the puck. Now McNee's got it. She clears. Lakeville back in the zone. Chipped it over the Sabre stick nicely. Now Barrick goes over to Krisak, who goes back to Barrick. Nice pass to Tochek. She's looking for McNee. Got it. The pass was a little bit behind her. McNee did a good job to handle it and get it into the zone. Good hustle to hold it down there. Huberty and Luther on the ice now. So got a little bit of a mixed line. Now McNee's coming off. Carlson back. Puck gets chipped over her stick, but she wins the foot race to it. Pass up to Luth, who backhands it out the zone, and Lakeville will just throw it back down. They're going for a change, so Krisak able to exit the zone unimpeded. Here's Esslinger. She's got some space on the near side. Tries to cut through the middle. Good strength. Manages to get the puck through. Took an interesting bounce off the boards. Almost came back out the near side, but no Sabres were there to poke it in. Puck ends up all the way down the ice. Krisak wins the race to the puck. Pokes it out to Esslinger. She's going for the exit down the middle. That's a dangerous play. Lakeville walks in and manages to score. 1:22 left in the first, and the Sabres are down a goal. The center exit of the zone, if not executed properly, is a little bit dangerous, and the Sabres paid the price there. Lakeville Cougar skater was coming into the zone, full head of steam. Puck ended up right on her stick. She walked in and managed to go high glove side over Malone. Good shot.
Scoring for the Cougars at 13:38 in the first period. Number 5, Paige Disco. Disco unassisted for the Cougars at 13:38.
Telejohn on the puck. She's going to wrist it in the corner. John Troy giving choice.
1 minute remaining in the first period. 1 minute.
Backhanded centering pass from Telejohn. Didn't quite make it to Anderson. That was a good idea. Everybody could see what they were shooting for there. Smith off the boards up to Anderson. Chips it up to John Troy, who backhands it across to Telejohn. Got a stick on it, but not much of a shot. Puck ends up cleared by Lakeville. They're giving chase, but it's going to be an icing. 32 seconds left in the first period. Three new forwards for the Sabres. McNee, Collins, and Tochek. Smith and Schuler at the defensive spots. Face-off win goes to Tochek. She goes back to Schuler. D to Smith. She steps into a wrister. Hit a Cougar stick straight down onto McNee's stick, and she just buries it. Lakeville goalie was sliding to her left to stop the shot, and puck ended up kicking back to her right on McNee's stick. Had a wide open goal and didn't miss that one. So Sabres get the equalizer with 25 seconds left in the first period. That line will stay put, but we'll get a couple of new defensive skaters. Barrick and Cam Krisak into the game.
First period. Number 21, Izzy McNee. Single assist given to number 24, Aubrey Smith. McNee from Smith at 14:35.
Not sure if you could hear that. It was the loudest PA announcing of all time, but the single assist went to Aubrey Smith. McNee got another shot kind of last couple seconds of the period there, so pressure by that line. Take a minute break and be back for the second period.
We'll have a 2-minute intermission, followed by the second period.
All right, ready to start the second period. Sabres traveling left to right on your screen. Nice face-off win by John Choi. Puck ends up back on Cam Krisak's stick. She dumps it in. Bounces off the boards. Almost came back out into the crease near side. Puck held in on the far side by Barrick and Anderson. Ends up on John Choi's stick. She took a bad angle shot, tried to sneak it inside the post. Telejohn, the good forecheck, centering pass, but nobody could get on the stick. Or nobody could get on the puck, I should say. Icing gets waved. It bounced off of Sabre sticks. Cam Krisak back to retrieve. Goes up to Anderson. She goes out through the middle. Telejohn ends up with the puck. Makes sure she crosses center ice and dumps it deep. Sabres will change. Addie Collins off the bench quickly. Able to hold up the breakout nicely. She wheels through center ice. Puck on her backhand. Driving hard towards the net. Nice opportunity by Collins there. Just kept picking up steam. Drove all the way to the net on her backhand, and at the last second got a little forehanded wrister off. Hit the goalie right dead center in the chest. Rebound was there for a minute, but I think it was Tocek was following it up. Couldn't quite get there. Tocek, McNee, and Collins on the ice along with Chloe Krisak and Cam Carlson. That will be full ice clear for the icing, and we'll come back into the offensive zone. Malone working on her stick work. Very accurate. Hits the ref right in the skates. That was impressive. Collins on the faceoff. She's done a pretty good job so far. Tocek, nice cutout. Oh, puck is just sitting in front of the... She shot it across the middle of the net. The puck ended up in the net. Sabre faithful getting very feisty. They're not going to give us the goal. Tocek centered it like right across the crease, and it hit the goalie's pad and just sat there. Nobody knew where the puck was. Eventually, Tocek, I think, poked it in the net, but they claimed that the whistle blew before it went in. Esslinger with a nice kick, drives the net hard, gets a shot off that gets stopped. Carlson with the wrister from the blue line hits the goalie's stick and pops up. She manages to cover eventually. Got Huberty, Esslinger, and Luth. Lakeville swaps all 5 skaters. Schuler and Smith at the D spots. Huberty tries to drive forward on the face-off, but Lakeville defender manages to get to it. Schuler pinches hard and holds the puck in nicely. Bouncing puck ends up on a Lakeville stick, and she manages to exit the zone. Cross-ice pass finds nobody, but she was across center ice, so no icing. Drop pass back to Cougar defender. She got a shot off. It went well wide. Puck now hovering on the near side boards. Pops out to the defender who risks it. Malone didn't look troubled by that one bit. She gloves it easily and holds on to it. 12:37 left in the second. Get a 5-skater change for the Sabres. John Choi, Telejohn, Anderson, Krisak, and Barrick face off in the defensive zone near side circle. John Choi ties up the face-off. Telejohn kind of drove through. Puck is being kicked around in the middle of the ice. Krisak finally comes out of there. Ended up chipping it up the boards. Anderson backhanded it up to Telejohn, but it was a little too far. Anderson ties up the entry. It ends up on Krisak's stick. She backhands it across the ice. Telejohn all by herself. She's going to enter the zone. Her shot hits a pad and comes off near side. Lakeville unable to exit. It ends up on John Choi's stick. Her wrister got blocked, partially deflected by a defender. Lakeville still unable to clear. Puck ends up right on John Choi's stick and a backhanded goal. What a fantastic finish by John Choi. Krisak did a really nice job holding the puck in right near us on the blue line and kind of handcuffed one of the Lakeville skaters, went right between her legs, ended up on John Choi's stick, and she took her time, lifted the backhand nicely over the glove hand, and Sabres take a 2-1 lead. 11:47 left in the second. Collins, McNee, and Tocek on the ice along with Carlson and Chloe Krisak. Puck wrapped around the boards. Carlson wins the race, but loses the puck.
John Choi. Single assist to number 8, Elena Tozak. John Choi from Tozak at 3:13.
McNee and Tocek had a nice opportunity there. McNee backhanded pass was bouncing. Tocek just couldn't get there. If you didn't hear the PA announcer, again, Tocek got the assist on that John Choi goal. Near battle on the near side boards ends up being won by a Cougar skater. She'll skate it in, but nice post check by Chloe Krisak, and the puck ends up exiting the zone. Collins will throw it in. It hit the Cougar defender's skate. And Tocek managed to get there. She wrapped around the backside and centered it. Nobody could get on the end of it. Krisak with a cross-ice pass that gets intercepted. Nice save by Malone. That was a dangerous turnover by the Sabres, but no harm, no foul. Tocek held up on the near side boards. Drops it back to Krisak. Carlson ends up with it. She eventually gets it out to Esslinger. She couldn't get it out of her skates and lost it momentarily, but ends up back on Carlson's stick. She shoots it into the near side corner, and Sabres get a chance to change. Puck ends up on Schuler's stick, and Lakeville pops out of there, and they get a good breakaway. Malone does a really good job shutting that down. I think the Lakeville skater was hoping she was going to start moving, and she just held her ground and managed to get the save in. But a couple of dangerous opportunities for the Cougars. Luth wins the race to the puck, but can't clear it. Ends up on a Cougar stick. Backhanded shot, kicked aside by Malone. And Lakeville getting some good pressure on. Bouncing wrist shot, went through a bunch of traffic. Ended up wide in the net. Centering pass gets cut out. Smith ends up with the puck on the far side board. She goes up to Esslinger, who chips it out. That's going to be offsides. Cougar skater waited long enough that it wasn't offsides and ended up getting a shot out of it. Puck just hanging out on the near side boards. Luth and Schuler can't get a hold of it before the Lakeville reinforcements come in. Puck has been in the defensive zone for quite a while. Centering pass got cut out. Again, very dangerous. Sabres badly need to clear the puck. They need a stoppage. Rister gets kicked aside by Malone. Backhand from Schuler goes up to Esslinger. She gets pinned against the boards, and Sabres cannot clear. Puck being held against the boards. You've got Smith and Esslinger. Finally ends up on Schuler's stick, and she's just going to shoot it down the ice. They'll take the icing. They needed to get some new skaters on the ice. That was a long time we just spent in the defensive zone. So 5 new skaters for the Sabres. 8:02 left in the second. John Choi, Telejohn Anderson, Cam Krisak, and Jetta Barrick. John Choi got a stick on the faceoff. Lakeville forward was driving the net. Thought she had an opportunity, but lost an edge and couldn't get it out. Couldn't get the puck to the net. Telejohn and John Choi trying to exit the zone, and Lakeville with a really aggressive forecheck here in the second period. They're just giving the Sabres all sorts of trouble. Puck ends up on Barrick's stick. She backhands it around, goes all the way around. Lakeville holds it in. Puck held in on the far side boards. Krisak has it. She's got some space. She goes back behind the net to Barrick, who backhands it back to Krisak. She tries to skate it out. Puck ends up right on a Cougar stick, coming right down the middle of the ice, and she got a shot off, but Malone was there. Those 5 skaters spent their entire shift in the defensive zone, so Mitch is going to swap them out, and we'll give the next line a chance to maybe exit the defensive zone, try something different. Addie Collins, McNee, and who's my third? Tochek, along with Carlson and Chloe Krisak. Puck finally up and out. Goes out to the neutral zone. Pinned against the far side boards by McNee. Puck ends up coming out. Lakeville chips it down behind the net. Carlson's giving chase, and she wins the race to the puck, but pass up the boards gets held in nicely by Lakeville. So Lakeville's starting to really lean on the Sabres a little bit here, hold the puck in the zone. McNee in the right spot there, blocks the pass and manages to chip it deep. Centering pass by McNee goes just a little bit too far. Deflection. Oh my goodness. So Krisak's shot got deflected and ended up on Tochek's stick. Tochek with the wrister that got stuffed, and there were a couple of rebound opportunities. McNee with the shot out front. This group, nice pressure here. Carlson D to D to Krisak. Wrist shot hits a skate.